The King's Portrait, a tale of positive perspective. Once upon a time, there was a wise and kind king who ruled a prosperous kingdom. Although he had only one leg and one eye, his intelligence and compassion made his people happy and healthy under his rule. One day, while walking through the palace, he noticed the portraits of his ancestors and realized that he had no portrait of his own. He thought of the future when his children would walk through the same hallway, and he wished to leave behind a portrait for them to remember him by. However, because of his physical disabilities, the king was unsure how his portrait would turn out. He invited famous painters from his kingdom and neighboring ones to create a beautiful portrait of him and promised a great reward for the painter who could achieve this. One by one, the painters hesitated. They couldn't figure out how to make the king's portrait beautiful without highlighting his disabilities. Afraid that the king would be displeased and punish them, they politely declined. Suddenly, one painter stepped forward and assured the king that he would create a portrait that would be both beautiful and satisfying. The king gave him permission to proceed, and the painter began his work. After much time and effort, the painting was finally ready. The courtiers and other painters were anxious, wondering how the artist could create a pleasing portrait of a physically disabled king. But when the portrait was unveiled, everyone in the court, including the king, was left speechless. The painter had created a stunning image of the king, showing him sitting on a horse, cleverly positioning him on the side with the missing leg, while aiming a bow with his one good eye, the other naturally closed, as if he was concentrating on the target. The king was delighted with how the artist had beautifully depicted him without focusing on his disabilities. Pleased with the painter's skill and creativity, the king rewarded him generously. Moral: we should always look for the good in others and not focus on their flaws. By thinking positively and focusing on strengths rather than weaknesses, we can overcome challenges and solve problems with a better perspective.